Today we are going to discuss about kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera, so that is a separate kingdom, and all bacteria they belong to kingdom Monera. So bacteria, they are the sole member of the kingdom Monera. You can find out only the bacteria, all the different types of the bacteria, they belong to kingdom Monera. Bacteria, they are called omnipresent. Why omnipresent? Because the bacteria, they are present in all places. You can find out the bacteria, they are available. Either you can find out the bacteria, they are present in the soil. All the bacteria, they are also found in air. All the bacteria are also found inside the body, inside the intestine. So everywhere you can find out, either it is the normal situation, normal conditions, or even in the extreme habitat also the bacteria, they are present. So the bacteria, they are called omnipresent. There are different ways how to classify bacteria. There are different types of bacteria, and on the basis of shape, we are classifying bacteria into 4 types: Bacillus, Coccus, Spirillum and Vibrio. Bacillus, these are all the rod-shaped bacteria, and the name is given Bacillus. Then Coccus, these are all spherical bacteria. You can find out they are just like a sphere, and it is called Coccus. Then Spirillum, these bacteria, they are spiral bacteria. Then Vibrio, they look like comma. So comma looks like this. So these type of the bacteria which are called the Vibrio, so they are comma shaped bacteria. So depending on the shape, the bacteria, they are classified into 4 types. There are also other different way how we can classify the bacteria, either on the basis of the gram scaling, or depending on the number and the presence of the flagella. But in your NCERT book only the classification, so that is based on the shape of bacteria. Then how bacteria, they are preparing their food? Bacteria, you can find out either they are autotrophic or heterotrophic. In previous video, while explaining the common character of the bacteria, I have told you bacteria is having some character just like plants and few character like animals. So here you can find out the bacteria, either they can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Because generally what happens, the plants, they are called autotrophs. Otherwise almost all the animals, they are heterotrophs. But here the bacteria also you can find out they are autotrophic, and again the autotrophic, they are of 2 kinds. One is photoautotrophic, another is the chemoautotrophic. So photoautotrophic means, photo means light. So that means these type of bacteria, they are having pigments. Just like the green plants, you know that. Why they are photoautotrophs? Because they are having chlorophyll pigments. So here also these type of the bacteria you can find out, they are having pigments so that they can prepare food with the help of sunlight. Then chemoautotrophic bacteria, they can derive energy from chemical compounds. Energy from chemical compounds. For example, sulfur bacteria and iron bacteria. Then the bacteria which are heterotrophs, either they are depending on the other organism just like as the parasitic bacteria, or they are saprophytic, they are depending on the dead and the organic compounds. So by the decomposition procedure, bacteria, they are getting food. So either the bacteria, they can be autotrophic or they can be heterotrophic. So bacteria, they are mainly divided into 2 groups. One is the Archaebacteria and another is Eubacteria. Archaebacteria, they are also called as ancient bacteria, because when life originated, then the first bacteria which was originated, so that was put in the group Archaebacteria. So they are also called as ancient bacteria. And the characteristic feature of these bacteria is that they can survive in extreme climatic conditions. They can survive in boiling water also, they can survive in salty area also, they can survive in marshy area. So that is a characteristic feature of Archaebacteria. So they live in harsh habitat, and there are 3 types of Archaebacteria: Halophilus, they are found in the salty area. Then the thermoacidophile files, they are present in the hot spring, and marshy area you can find out the methanogen. Even in the gut of cattle also the methanogen they are present, and methanogen they can produce methane gas. Even in the marshy area also you can find out the bacteria which are present there, they also can produce the methane gas. So the archaebacteria, they are of 3 different kinds. Because for the normal individual, it is difficult to survive in salty area or the temperature which is more than 100 degrees Celsius temperature. Like for example, you take the hot spring. In the hot spring, boiling water is there. So in the boiling water also the bacteria, they are able to survive. So they are able to survive in extreme habitat. Then the cell wall of archaebacteria, that is different from true bacteria. If you take the chemical composition, then the chemical composition of the cell wall, so that is different in true bacteria and different in archaebacteria. And this chemical composition which is different, so that is making archaebacteria to survive in extreme harsh habitat. Then the methanogen, so that is the example, and the Thermus aquaticus, so that is also another example of archaebacteria. Thermus aquaticus, so that is the bacteria from which we can separate DNA polymerase enzymes. And this DNA polymerase enzyme, so that can be used in biotechnology or in the genetic recombination. So these are all the character of archaebacteria. Then the rest of the bacteria who belong to another group which is called the Eubacteria. Eubacteria, they are actually true bacteria. And here you can find out they are having cell wall, just like the plant character, and the body is surrounded by flagella. Flagella, they are small thread-like structure which are developing from the surface of the cell, like this. And either you can find out the bacteria, because I told you the classification, that is not only depending on the shape, but depending on the number and the presence of the flagella also we can classify the bacteria. In some bacteria you can find out there is one flagellum is present. In some you can find out there are one flagella at this end, another flagella at this end. In some of the bacteria you can find out all surrounding the cell, the flagella they are present. So depending on the number and the presence of the flagella, the bacteria they are also classified. Then cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, they also belong to true bacteria group. And blue-green algae, they are having the blue and as well as the green pigments, like the chlorophyll A, which is a green pigment, which is found in plants. So that is also found in blue-green algae or in the cyanobacteria. So here you can find out they are either unicellular, colonial or filamentous. Either you can find out the bacterial cell, it is having one single cell, or colony means you can find out many cells they are present together in a cover, in a seed. So that is called colony. And filamentous, just like filament. You have seen the spider web filament. Similarly, here also you can find out the blue-green algae. So either it is composed of one single cell, or few number of the cells they aggregate together, they surround by a common gelatinous seed, or it is the filamentous structure. Then the colony is surrounded by the gelatinous seed. I told you, now this is the covering or seed, and the whole body, if it is filamentous or if it is colonial, then it is not liquid. It is surrounded by a gelatin covering. So this is called gelatinous seed. And blue-green algae, because they are autotrophic, also they have the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen by heterocyst. This is the filament of blue-green algae. Here you see these are all the normal cells, and in between the normal cell you can find out there is specialized cell which are called heterocyst. And the heterocyst, it has the ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen. Because living organisms, they cannot use nitrogen in molecular form. Plants, if they want to use the nitrogen, then they can use the nitrogen only in the form of nitrates. So these blue-green algae, they have the ability to convert molecular nitrogen into nitrates, so that the nitrate can be utilized by a bacteria. Then chemosynthetic bacteria, they oxidize inorganic compounds. One is the bacteria which can use the solar energy to prepare the food, and chemosynthetic bacteria, they can use a chemical compound or the inorganic compound which are oxidized, and in the process energy is liberated in the form of ATP. Then heterotrophic bacteria, they are abundant in nature. Most of the bacteria, they are heterotrophic. You can find out the few bacteria, they are autotrophic, and most of the bacteria, they are heterotrophic. So they are all the common character of EU bacteria. So now we will discuss about economic importance. Bacteria, you can find out they are having many beneficial role also, and also many harmful roles also they are having. So what are the beneficial role? They are helpful in making curd. Curd also we prepare at home, and the curd preparation, so that is done with the help of lactobacillus. The type of the bacteria which is making curd, so that is called lactobacillus. And curd is prepared from milk. So a little bit of curd which is having plenty of lactobacillus, when it is added to a little bit lukewarm milk, then milk can be converted into curd, and the nutritional value of the curd, so that is much more in comparison to the milk. Also some of the bacteria, they are also preparing the different type of the acids, for example citric acid bacteria. Then the bacteria, they also can produce the antibiotics. Antibiotics, all of you know that it is used in the form of the medicines. There are different type of the antibiotic used, and one single antibiotic, they can kill a range of pathogens. So that is the importance of the antibiotics. The normal drugs of the medicine we are taking, so that can cure only one particular disease. But what is the advantage of the antibiotic? One single antibiotic, it can be used for 3 or 4 different types of pathogen also. So antibiotic also we are getting from bacteria. Then the bacteria, they are also used for the fixation of nitrogen. They can be used as the organic fertilizers. For example, blue-green algae, if they are added in soil, then the blue-green algae, they can fix the atmospheric nitrogen and convert into nitrates. So nitrates can be used by the plants. Then the bacteria, they are also used in the leather making or in the jute making, because leather we are preparing from the skin or hide of animal. When the skin, so that is put in water and it is left for few days, then the flesh which is attached to the skin, so that is decomposed with the help of the bacteria, and we can separate the skin and it is dried. Then it can be used for making the different leather articles. And also the jute, so that is also prepared from the stem. The stem of the jute plant, so that is cut and it is put into the water, and the bacteria can decompose the body. Then at last you can find out the fiber, so that is remaining, and this is called jute. So these are all the beneficial role of bacteria. But also you can find out there are many bacteria, they are responsible for producing the disease in animals as well as the plants. For example, in the animal, cholera and the typhoid, tetanus, and in plants, citrus canker, so that is a plant disease. So not only in animals you can find out the bacteria, they also cause disease in plants also. Okay. Now the next, how bacteria is reproducing. Because the bacteria, that is a simple organism, and mainly it can reproduce by asexual method. So asexual method are 2. One is the fission and second is spore formation. So in the normal fission, what is happening? If this is one single bacteria which is having a nucleus, then here you can find out, because the nucleus is divided into 2 nuclei, then the cytoplasm, they are also equally dividing, and ultimately from one single bacteria, 2 bacteria they are produced. So this is normal fission. And spore formation, that is taking place during unfavorable conditions. Fission is taking place when the conditions they are favorable. If the conditions are unfavorable, then the bacteria is producing a thick and resistant wall around itself. This thick wall, that is resistant. And the whole unfavorable period, the bacteria will be able to survive because of the thick wall. So when the normal conditions again is coming back, then the thick wall will break and the organism will come out. Or you can find out the cytoplasm can also divide into many small spores, and these spores During favorable conditions, they are coming out of the thick wall and then they can survive in normal conditions. So this is called spore formation. This is also one of the asexual method. And sexual method, exactly we cannot say it, but you can find out also there is genetic recombination is taking place. Because it is simple organism, so the exact, you cannot find out there is no male or female bacteria, but there is transfer of genetic material between two bacteria. These two bacteria, they come close to each other. Then you can find out there is formation of a wall or a tube. So that is called conjugation tube. Then the DNA, a part of the DNA from this cell will be transferred to this cell. So exactly we cannot say this is not sexual reproduction because there is no difference between male and the female. But just like the process which is taking place in sexual reproduction, two bacteria will come close to each other. They will connect together with the help of the tube which is called conjugation tube. Then a part of the DNA of this bacteria with the help of the conjugation tube will transfer to this cell. And then ultimately it can combine with the genetic material of this DNA. So it is having its own DNA and this is the DNA which is transferred from this cell. So now when they are separating, then in this bacteria you can find out there is some change or the variation. So the genetic recombination is taking place. Genetic material they are recombining. So the process is called genetic recombination. So these are all the different ways how bacteria they can reproduce.